All right, guys, welcome back to the coverage of the Hong Kong Flesh and Blood National Championship. And we're going into round 8 here. Both of these players, Peng and Jack, are 5-2, sitting currently at table 7. So this is pretty much a must-win game for both of these guys if they want to keep their top 8 hopes alive. As you can see, Peng, which I think we've seen him play before, is rocking Briar. Jack decided to take Oldhim to battle. Now, I've known Jack for quite a while, and Jack has been a Bravo player for a very, very long time. But he decided that he was going to play with the other Guardian today. He told me his only worry is that he would go to time or that things would end at a draw. But it looks like he's avoided going to a draw the whole day, which is good for him. This should be a very, very good match here. Both of these guys are evenly matched. And we're going to see a real slugfest here, I imagine. Oldhim coming in to battle here with Crown of Seeds. Perhaps one of the strongest cards from Tales of Aria. I expect to see that thing block for at least 10, maybe 15, maybe even 20 points of damage over the course of the game. He's also rocking Tectonic Plating, Crater Fist, and Null Rune Boots. So he's got a decent amount of defense, and he has some Arcane Barrier. He also has the Ram's Head as his shield, and Winter's Wail as his weapon. Fairly standard. Over on Peng's side, Skullcap, Tunic, Grasp of the Arknight, Snapdragons. I'm not sure who won the dice roll, but Peng is going first. Looks like he's pitching a Tome of Harvest to play a Sonata for X's 1. 2 hits here. 1 Arcane flying at Jack. Jack decides to block, or pitch Remembrance to block that out. It's going to take a damage though. Drop down to 39. Get settled in, guys. This could be quite the match here. Ravenous Rabble, revealing a Sonata off the top. It's going to block it out with a card from hand and the all-powerful Rampart. Weave Lightning, that's going to break the combat chain. That's going to allow him to block again with the Ram's Head if he wants. This time for 2. So it's a Weave Lightning into a Ball Lightning here. Looks like Jack's going to block here. Taking a little bit of damage. It's going to end the chain with a Rosetta Thorn. Ah, he had a Heart of Fendel as his last card. Not quite what you want to see in the opening hand. All right. Pretty good turn from Peng. He got 5 damage in, and he got an Arsenal card. And he got a block out of the Titan's Fist. Pretty good here. Jack's going to pitch 2 cards here. Coming with the footsteps. A very quick no block from Pang. Jack's going to place a card into Arsenal and draw back up. So this is the first real turn of the game. We are very likely to see some Crown of Seeds and Rampart action here. Another Sonata, this time not pitching for it, probably because he can't. He has a choice between the Snatch and the Arcanic Crackle. Decides to take the Snatch. So that's 2 turns, 2 Sonatas. Jack decided to pitch a blue to block the arcane damage from the Sonata. Plunder run from hand into a Snatch, threatening to draw 2 cards. Jack playing quickly, decides to block. I guess he must have verbally announced his embodiment of lightning. Another Snatch threatening a double card draw. Jack, as you can see, plays extremely quickly here, activating the Crown of Seeds. Blocking for 3 with floating 1 damage prevention. No damage there. Pang draws 3 cards. Jack does what Oldhim wants to do. Swing the hammer, put a card into Arsenal. Rinse and repeat. If the next few turns look like this turn cycle, Pang is going to be in a lot of trouble. He has a couple options here. I'm not exactly sure about his deck composition, but if he has a Channel Mount Heroic, he's going to definitely need to rely on that to push damage. Alternatively, if he's much more of a lightning-focused Briar, he's going to want to pitch a specific set of cards to the bottom of his deck. We'll get a little bit more information on Pang's deck as the game progresses. Captain's Call, Nimblism, Embodiment of Lightning. Into an E-Strike, draw a card. So this is 10 damage here. Activating Crown. Crown allows Jack to play with a 5-card hand on defense, which is pretty ridiculous. Looks like he's going to block for 6 with a staunch response from the 2 floating. He's going to go for 2 and 2 here. He's going to pitch, block 1 of the arcane, take 1 arcane, use the Rampart plus the Crown of Seeds to block the other 2. And so that whole turn, Jack just took 1 damage. And Pang used 3 cards. However, this is possibly an opening for him. He's playing with a 5-card hand, a Tunic, against an Oldhim without a arsenal card. So possibly there's something there. Rabble into a Lightning Surge. 4. Cleanly blocked with a Singular. Captain's Call. Entwine Lightning. No fuse. I'm guessing he gave it go again because he's likely to Tunic here. Oh no, he just has the energy. So we're seeing a force of nature here. So I'm thinking that he's probably on an Earth build here. Ending the turn with 2/2/1 here. Jack blocks some of the damage, but still leaks a couple of arcane damage here and there. Jack decides to take the turn off to get a card into Arsenal and passes it back to Pang. Again, Pang with 5 cards here and a Tunic. That card has been in his arsenal for quite a while. Starting to wonder what it is. Double pitch here to make a rune chant. This is going to be a pretty weak turn here, I think. Okay. Lots of pitch to activate Command and Conquer, which I think should have been sideboarded out, frankly. I mean, that is basically a... I mean, a Command and Conquer is never going to do anything to an Oldhim here. He's just going to crown away the card. He blocks the arcane. Looks like he's full blocking the Command and Conquer as well. Jack with 2 cards here is going to be able to Titan's Fist and Arsenal card. And Pang... I mean, Pang should not feel too nervous here. He hasn't seen any of his real power cards here. He hasn't seen his Channel Mount Heroic. He hasn't seen his Sting of Sorcery yet. So, I mean, he's going to need to keep... he's going to need to be mindful of the amount of gas that he has, but he's... no need to worry quite yet. Looks like the Titan's Fist is going to get in. It's going to give Briar a Frostbite. Now, Frostbite is pretty annoying. Even if you have a Tunic counter up, it costs a resource to activate the Tunic. So, looks like we're just going to see a Lightning Surge from Arsenal. Crown of Seeds activation from Jack. Blocking with a Spinal Crush plus his Rampart. Another attack deflected. We're currently 13 minutes into the game. Both players playing at a reasonable speed. I believe that this game will come to a conclusion. Pang uses his remaining energy to create a rune chant and throw an Arcanic Shockwave at Jack. Jack pitches to negate some of the damage here. He can activate his his shield again if he wants. He decides to block with a Command and Conquer plus the 1 floating damage prevention. Jack puts a card into arsenal, passes back the turn. We've been several turn cycles into we're several turn cycles into this game, and we have not seen a Channel Mount Heroic out of Pang. Because he looks like he's about to pitch a card. Could this be the turn? Well, it is a Earth card, but it is not Mount Heroic. Earthlore Surge into Plunder Run into an Arcanic Shockwave, revealing something I didn't quite see. If that's a non-attack in Pang's hand, this is going to be a very straightforward block here. 3, 7. Jack's currently blocking for 7 with 1 floating prevention. Another turn cycle where Pang does not do any damage. Jack arsenals and draws up again. You're starting to see the immense power of Crown of Seeds. Here we go. We finally have a Channel Mount Heroic on board, the first one of the game. He's going to hope to push at least, hopefully, a third of Jack's life in these next 2 turns here. Here comes a Ball Lightning for 6 here. Now these turns are really the make or break turns of the game, so Jack may consider carefully here how to block. Second copy of Command & Conquer is going to go to the bottom of the deck. Again, I feel like that card should not be should be sided out against Oldhim. Jack leaks a couple damage there, but sends a Command & Conquer back towards Pang. That's a very, very good Command & Conquer. This is the exact turn that you would want to threaten his arsenal. You're either going to get 2 cards from his hand, or you're going to take a card from him indirectly, cutting him down to 4 cards instead of 5. One of the scariest things on a Mount Heroic turn is leaving the Briar with 5 cards, and this is basically ensures that one of them gets destroyed. Command & Conquer hits, takes 6. The Nimblism in the arsenal's destroyed. Back to Pang. He has an active Mount Heroic now. If he can push 2 attacks here, he'll be pretty happy. If he can push 3, he'll be ecstatic. Plunder Run into Ball Lightning from hand. This is going to get absorbed here by looks like a blizzard, forcing Pang to pay or lose go again. Crown of Seeds activation from Jack. Another very strong block. Snatch for 7 here is actually likely to hit here. Jack throwing all of his armor. He has the floating prevention, and I think that is enough there that it stops the snatch just barely. So Jack escapes from the first Channel Mount Heroic turn, taking almost no damage, but he did give up some of his armor, and he has no arsenal slot now. Back-to-back Mount Heroics here. This is exactly what Pang needs. Jack considering his options here. Significant amount of damage to Jack. I'm guessing he has a very disruptive hand here. A Spinal Crush is extremely disruptive. This is going to, especially with some of Pang's armor already gone, and Jack dropped below Pang in health, so his skull cap is also off. So this is 9 with a crush effect. It may not be easy for him to get at least 6 block here. If Jack gets 2 cards here, that's probably saving him at minimum 7 damage here. Looks like Pang is about to double block this. Oh, if he has, looks like, nope, still double blocking this. Tome of Harvest plus something. Taking 3, avoiding the crush. However, that was still 2 cards from hand. So the most damage he could do here is realistically 4. Okay, if he hits something good off the Sonata. This is his final Sonata. Sonata misses. 2 Weaverths. Little fist pump from Jack. Happy there. All in good fun. These guys are friends. So we've seen 3 Sonatas this game. We've also, this is the second Mount Heroic, which is almost certainly going away this turn. Not getting an attack action there represents 7 lost damage here. He's just going to send a ball lightning across. And this is just going to get double card blocked here. Yep. Looks like he did have the lightning press. But Jack responds with a sink below, not allowing any of the damage in. Resolving the sink. So the life totals are pretty similar. However, in terms of gas, Pang is starting to run out of gas. And I'm afraid that he basically needs to make his 3rd Channel Mount Heroic count. Now, if this is a Mount Heroic, I would probably try to set up a 5-card hand here. Looks like he almost forgot his Tunic counter there, but remembered before he played a card. Several lines of play available for him. Currently 25 minutes into the round. Looks like he's going to play an Enlightened Strike, putting a card on bottom. Looks like he's opting for the go again. Jack activates Crown of Seeds for the 20th time this game. Blocks with a card plus Rampart plus the prevention. Scar for Scar here does not have go again. So that last card is likely going into Arsenal. Jack blocks, activates Oldhim, blocks it all out. Tome of Harvest. That's 2 cards Pang has put to the bottom in secret. The Enlightened Strike put a card on the bottom, and the Tome of Harvest put a card on the bottom. So we could be seeing the start of a hand sculpting technique from Pang, especially considering he's played all 3 of his Sonatas. He's not going to shuffle his deck anymore. So he's almost certainly setting up some type of Sting Ball combo at the end here. We have a Captain's Call, which made Ixal Embodiment into an Easter egg draw. However, Jack puts a stop to that pretty quickly with a staunch response. Looks like he's going to pitch and play a Command and Conquer. Again, I can't stress this enough. I really don't like this card against Oldhim. That's the 3rd Command and Conquer. And he's going to activate the Winter version of Oldhim's ability, forcing Pang to put the last card in his hand on top of the deck, meaning he goes into the next turn cycle without an arsenal. Pang drawing up Gorganian Tomb. Into a Weave Lightning, creating an embodiment. I think both of these guys are well aware of the current state of the game. I'm pretty sure Jack has noticed that Pang has played all 3 Sonatas and has started sculpting the bottom of his deck. Jack's going to play Remembrance. Now what is he going to shuffle back in? Looks like he's going to go with the Staunch Response, the Spinal Crush, Channel Lake Frigid. I'm going to guess the other Channel Lake Frigid here, if he's played it or pitched it or blocked with it. Looks like he's taking another Spinal Crush. Just wants to be disruptive on that key turn. I think Jack has correctly identified the path to victory for Pang, and he's setting up to counter it. I think the next 10 turns of this game are going to be fairly inconsequential. We are basically playing to the point where Peng will be able to come in with a Sting ball combo, and whether or not Jack has the correct hand to disrupt that. Another 5-card hand from Peng. Let's see if he can get any damage done here. One run from Arsenal. That's an excellent start. And he already has an embodiment of lightning on the field. Although that might just be an accident there. Crown of Seeds activated again. One of the tricky things about playing Oldhim is that Crown of Seeds gives you new information, so you have to be able to absorb the new information, which is the card that you draw from Crown of Seeds, and process it quickly. And as we can see, Jack is excellent at doing that. Jack pointing out the embodiment of lightning is gone. Alright, so he blocked the arcane damage but took the physical damage. Peng is considering to block here. Looks like he opts not to. He's gonna get a frostbite token for not blocking. Jack puts Crown of Seeds food into his arsenal and passes the turn. There's a Sting of Sorcery. Another Tome of Harvest, putting a mystery card to the bottom. Alarm bells should be going off in Jack's head right now. Peng has put 4 cards to the bottom of the deck. Looks like there might be a judge call here or something. Nope. Looks like just the remembrance fell off the table. Tome of Harvest giving Peng a full grip of cards now. Playing Ball Lightning. Now this turn is a little bit tricky to block from Jack, I believe. The opponent has many cards here. This attack pattern could get quite complicated. Weave Lightning, creating an embodiment of lightning. Lightning Surge. Getting blocked out by a Staunch Response. Lightning Press attempting to go over here. Activating Oldhim, forcing Peng to put a card onto the top of the deck. Jack will leak 2 damage there from the Lightning Press. Peng puts the Sting of Sorcery on the bottom. We're getting down to the bottom of Peng's deck here. So we're going to see those cards that he put on the bottom with Tome and put on the bottom with E-Strike pretty soon. The question is whether or not Jack will actually be able to Jacka actually could kill him before he even gets to that pitch stack. Looks like a very, very weak turn here from Pang. Just an Autumn's touch here. Looks like Jack has a Command and Conquer in hand. That'd be a pretty decent play back. Oh, maybe that was an Art of War, my bad. Looks like he's going to block this for 5. Put a card into Arsenal. Jack has 3 cards here. He's going to pitch. Make a Seismic Surge Shoken for the first time in the game. And play a Spinal Crush. This is a tough position for Pang. Spinal Crush, one of the strongest cards in the Guardian's arsenal against these Go Wide Briar decks. Currently does have 2 points of armor, 3 if he counts the Tunic. Looks like we're going to do a little search for Ball Lightnings here, I think. He's counting them up, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's a ton of cards in his graveyard. His deck is probably below 10 at this point. The game has been going on for about 35 minutes. So we're very likely to see a conclusion to this game within time. Pang deciding how to block here. Looks like he's blocking for 2, and he has a Sigil of Suffering here. Jack does not have any pitch to prevent it. And so Pang only takes 3 there. Takes his Tunic up. Is no doubt setting up for his last turn, or last 2 turns here. Channel Mount Heroic. And this is the culmination of the whole game here. He gets Channel Mount Heroic out, gets a card into Arsenal, and I believe he's either at or very close to his pitch stack. Jack coming in with an E-Strike here. Is probably not going to get any cards here. We're really getting to the end here. He's taking 5 here. Coming in with Winter's Wail. Blocking with a card plus Skullcap. Alright, Pang. This is your 3rd Channel Mount Heroic. You've set up the bottom of your deck. Let's see what you got. Plunder Run from hand, Scar for Scar from hand. Coming in for 7 here, threatening a draw. Staunch Response from Arsenal. Shutting it down pretty hard. Staunch Response red, one of the cleanest solutions to 7 attack cards. Sting of Sorcery here. with, I'm guessing, okay, into another attack here. So the sting is going to go off. I'm guessing it's going to be a pitch block here. Okay, looks like Jack decides not to, so that he can block with the Ram's Head and E-Strike. Pitching an Earth card, floating to Prevention. Blocking for 6 here. I think he's taking 1 here. Yep. A draw from Peng. If it was an attack, he would have played it by now. Tunic, 2 and 2 here. He's going to block. He's going to take 2 Arcane. And he's going to give Peng another turn. So without any Channel Mount Heroics left, he is basically all in on the Sting of Sorcery plan here. A Force of Nature, starting things off. A Nimblism, making an embodiment into an Entwined Lightning. Pretty solid attack here. Demanding a pretty healthy block here from Jack. Peng coming in for 2 and 2. 2-2-1, sorry. The Rampart, blocking for the second time, is blocking for 2, which is very, very, very efficient here. It appears like Peng is down to below 5 cards here. So if he stacked his deck, this would be where it is. Lightning Surge from Arsenal for Gogen. This may not be the turn. He may be waiting for one more turn here. Jack gonna pitch away his lake. He's gonna pitch a Channel Lake Frigid to activate Crown of Seeds. Looks like he has an Art of War in hand. He's gonna block for 4 here. Both players are going to have to navigate this endgame very carefully, yet very quickly, because there's less than there's maybe 5 or 6, maybe 7 minutes left in the round. I think he just revealed a Lightning Press, which is pretty dangerous here. Crown of Seeds blocking the Rune Chant. One energy being used to activate the shield. Jack considering which card to add to defend this. Looks like he's going to pitch 3. Activate Oldhim. I believe he pitched an Earth card, so that's another 2 block there. Alright. Maybe his deck is not so thin. It's extremely hard to tell because of the camera angle. I guess when we see Sting played, we will know that it's go time. Jack's health is actually very low. I'm not actually sure if he can prevent Pang from executing his plan. He has been on offense basically the whole game here. And even though Jack has, defended excellently, we're currently at the end game and Pang is attacking into Jack. Looks like Pang has a decision to make. This is the most we've seen him think about a turn so far. Double Weave Earth. Okay. The Heart of Fendel that was in Jack's opening hand has finally come back around. Okay, looks like this is just a setup turn from Pang. He just wanted the Embodiment of Lightning out. However, that gives Jack an opening to put down Channel Lake Frigid, a Seismic Surge token, and swing Titan's Fist and arsenal a card. Absolutely backbreaking here. That Channel Lake Frigid, my bad, should be the nail in the coffin here. That's going to make executing anything nearly impossible while that thing is out. And that's going to affect the next 2 turns for Pang. Looks like he dumps his whole hand and concedes. Well played. Good timing on that Channel Lake Frigid there. Excellent defense from Jack. Very well played from both players, actually. And yeah, so we see Oldhim progress. Jack is currently 6-2. If he wins the next one, he should be locked for top 8. As for Pang, I guess he's going to have to win the next one and see if he can make it. I believe 7-2 is guaranteed and 6-3 is it's possible. Yeah, and so that match finished up in 48 minutes. Brisk play by both players. All right, we are going to take a short break, and we will come back for the 9th and final round. See you in a little bit.